This is Italo Raphael Brett Bonini. He was employed at Hunter Creek Middle School as a chorus teacher. More specifically, he was Madeline's chorus teacher. This is a post he made on his Facebook asking people to join the choir at Hunters Creek Middle School, and once you click on it, these were the questions you are asked. You will remember him from this interview.
20 hours. It's reference to Orange County case number 24-011313. I'm Detective Bradshaw with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Sir, can you state your first name for me, please?
My name is Italo.
Okay, so I just had a couple of questions for you in reference to assume that she was one of your students. Would that be correct?
She was, yes.
Okay, what period did you have her in?
I had her initially in sixth period for the start of the year.
Okay.
She requested to be moved to third period because she was having some issues of not being able to keep up.
What did he do, you ask? Well, let's start with the criminal complaint. United States District Court for the Middle District of Florida. It reads, United States of America versus Italo Raphael Brett Bonini. The criminal complaint states, I, the complainant in this case, state the following is true to the best of my knowledge and belief. On or about the date of January 12th, 2025, in the county of Orange, in the Middle District of Florida, the defendant violated coercion or enticement of a minor using a facility of interstate commerce. It is Code Section 18 U.S.C. Section 2422, subsection B. The criminal complaint is based on the facts. See attached affidavit. It was signed by Ruth Marrero from ICE. Leslie Price is the U.S. Magistrate Judge. It was sworn to before me over the telephone or reliable electronic means and signed by me pursuant to Federal R Criminal Code P 4.1 and 4 subsection D on February 5th, 2025 at 11:34 a.m. in Orlando, Florida. It reads, the state of Florida, county of Orange, affidavit in support of complaint. I, Ruth Marrero, being duly sworn, do hereby depose and state as follows. 1. This affidavit is submitted in support of a criminal complaint against Italo Raphael Brett Bonini, otherwise known as Brett Bonini, for a violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 2422B. As set forth in more detail below, I believe there is probable cause that on or about January 12, 2025, in the Middle District of Florida and elsewhere, Brett Bonini violated 18 U.S.C. Section 2422B by enticing a minor using a facility of interstate commerce to engage in sexual activity for which a person could be charged with a criminal offense. Number 2, I have been a sworn law enforcement officer with the Osceola County Sheriff's Office since 2017, and prior I was a police officer with the Los Angeles Police Department for 4.5 years. I am currently assigned to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, Violent Crimes Against Children Task Force as a TFO. Number 3, I have received specialized training concerning investigation of sex crimes, child exploitation, child pornography, and computer crimes. I have also investigated and assisted in the investigation of matters involving the possession, receipt, distribution, and production of child pornography. During the course of my training and investigations, I've had the opportunity to observe and review numerous examples of child pornography, as defined in 18 U.S.C. Section 2256, in all forms of media, including computer media. It continues, I have participated in various training courses concerning the investigation and enforcement of federal child pornography laws, in which computers are used as the means of receiving, transmitting, and storing child pornography. Additionally, I participated in the execution of search warrants involving searches and seizures of computers, computer equipment, software, and electronically stored information. Number 5, I make this affidavit based on my experience and background as a law enforcement officer, my personal participation in the investigation, and information provided by other law enforcement officers and agency personnel. As set forth in more detail below, I have probable cause to believe that a crime has taken place that is enticement of a minor to engage in sexual activity in violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 2422, subsection B. Statutory authority. Number 6, it is a violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 2422B to entice a minor using a facility of interstate commerce, such as a computer, to engage in sexual activity for which a person could be charged with a criminal offense, including the production of child pornography. We are at the probable cause statement. It is number 7. On February 4th, 2025, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office was contacted by the Maryland State Police in reference to a male suspect later identified as Brett Bonini. On January 18th, 2025, at approximately 8:30 p.m., Maryland State Trooper Stallings, assigned to the Maryland State Police Bel Air Barrack, was dispatched to the report of a computer crime involving 2 child victims, which will be hereby known as CVs for child victims, who reside in Aberdeen, Maryland. Trooper Stallings contacted the father of the child victims, and his initials are AP. We'll call him Dad. Dad explained that child victim 1 created a Discord account while he was staying with his grandparents on January 12th, 2025. On January 18th, 2025, Dad discovered disturbing messages in child victim 1's Discord chat. Dad reviewed the chats and discovered a conversation in which a Discord user, later identified as Brett Bonini, was online soliciting Dad's 8-year-old son to reveal his genitalia and engage in sexual acts. Dad explained that the Discord conversation showed that Brett Bonini engaged in multiple video calls with child victim 1 as well. Dad spoke to child victim 1, and child victim 1 admitted to pulling his pants down and revealing his genitalia to the individual later identified as Brett Bonini during a video call. Number 9, Trooper Stallings also contacted the mother of the child victims, as well as the 2 child victims, namely child victim 1, who was born in 2016, and child victim 2, who was born in 2019. The mother of the child victims stated that child victim 1 and child victim 2 pulled their pants down during the Discord video call, and that while child victim 1 exposed his penis, child victim 2 never pulled his underwear down. When asked, child victim 1 confirmed. The suspect also promised child victim 1 and child victim 2 video game currency in exchange for their sexual acts. Trooper Stallings then asked child victim 1 to describe the physical appearance of the suspect on the video call. Child victim 1 described him as a white male with brown hair and no facial hair. Child victim 1 stated, quote, "He was 16 and grown up, and he has his driver's license, and he was not smiling." Good Lord. Number 10. Trooper Stallings read through the whole Discord chat and obtained the Discord username and the ID number from the Discord account. Multiple messages from the suspect, i.e. Brett Bonini, were observed telling the 2 young boys to take the computer to a more private spot away from the adults. Brett Bonini made statements indicating that he had shown his genitalia to child victim 1, such as, quote, "I just wish you would show yours with me. I showed mine really easily." Brett Bonini then asked child victim 1 multiple times to show his privates in return. Brett Bonini then offered child victim 1 and child victim 2 25,000 Roblox in-game currency, for child victims to show their genitalia on screen. Then Brett Bonini stated, quote, "Both of you pull your pants down together so your pee-pees are out, then I'll tell you the next instruction." Unquote. Brett Bonini continued saying, quote, "Okay, lower your cams and then I want you both to rub each other's penises like this," unquote. Brett Bonini then said, quote, "Good job," unquote. The rest of the Discord chat displayed similar conversations such as the ones above. The suspect, i.e. Brett Bonini's Discord username, was Discord user ID number On January 28, 2025, the Maryland State Police Bel Air Barrack notified the Hartford County Child Advocacy Center about the victimization of child victim 1 and child victim 2. The investigation was assigned to Trooper Cook. Trooper Cook contacted Dad and corroborated all the information previously relayed to the initial responding officer. Dad provided child victim 1's Discord account username. Dad verified that he did not observe any child pornography images/videos within any of child victim 1 or child victim 2's devices and application, which was consistent with their statements that they exposed themselves during a live video chat. Number 13. On January 31st, 2025, Trooper Cook authored a search warrant for the contents of the Discord account for Brett Bonini, which was judicially endorsed and served to Discord on the same day. All events occurred in Hartford County, Maryland. Discord responded to the search warrant, and Trooper Cook reviewed the conversation between child victim 1 and Brett Bonini. We're at number 14. Trooper Cook read through the whole Discord chat and obtained the Discord username and user ID number for the suspect's Discord account. Discord identified the subscriber as, you can see that. Number 15. Trooper Cook reviewed multiple messages that Brett Bonini sent to child victim 1 and child victim 2. In the messages, Brett Bonini instructed child victim 1 and child victim 2 to take the computer to a more private spot away from the adults. Brett Bonini then made statements indicating that he had shown his genitalia to child victim 1. Brett Bonini asked child victim 1 multiple times to show his privates in return. Brett Bonini offered child victim 1 and child victim 2 25,000 Roblox in-game currency for both child victims to show their genitalia on screen. Brett Bonini continued saying, quote, "Okay, lower your cams, and then I want you both to rub each other's penises like this," unquote. Brett Bonini then said, quote, "Good job," unquote. The rest of the Discord chat displayed similar conversations such as the one described above. Identification of subject. Number 9. On February 4th, 2025, the FBI served an extingent order to Charter Communications, or Spectrum, to obtain the subscriber of the IP address used by the suspect's account at the time the child victims were victimized, as well as the subscriber of the IP address used at the time the account was set up. On February 4th, 2025, Charter Communications verified that both of the IPs were subscribed to LB at the residential address in Orlando, Florida. Quote, the premises. On February 4th, we're at number 10. An FBI agent conducted a Florida driver's and vehicle identification database check on the address of the premises. The check showed that LB resided at the premises along with Brett Bonini and 2 other significantly older males. Number 11. Law enforcement queried the suspect Discord account's registered phone number through law enforcement databases, which revealed that it was registered through Verizon to Italo Brett Jr., residing at the address. Law enforcement conducted an open source /media/social media query of Italo Brett Jr. and observed a Facebook account listed to Italo Brett Jr., who indicates on his profile that he resides in Orlando, Florida. Law enforcement reviewed a user profile photograph from the Facebook account of Italo Brett Jr. and compared it to the driver's license photograph of Brett Bonini, and both photographs depicted the same person. Number 12. As set forth above, child victim 1 indicated that the suspect had a youthful appearance. An FBI agent reviewed the driver's license photograph of Brett Bonini, and although he is 25 years old, he nonetheless has a youthful appearance. Both the other males who reside at the premises are significantly older than Brett Bonini. Number 13. On February 4th, 2025, the FBI executed a search warrant at the premises. Upon arrival at the premises, FBI agents made contact with the occupants at the door of the residence and asked Brett Bonini and 2 other occupants to exit the residence as the FBI executed the federal search warrant. Number 14. Concurrent with the execution of the search warrant, FBI Special Agent Michelle Langner and myself conducted a non-custodial interview with Brett Bonini. who was repeatedly informed that he was not under arrest, was free to leave, and did not have to speak with agents. Number 15, Brett Bonini confirmed during the interview that he resided at the premises with his parents since 2001. Brett Bonini also confirmed that Charter Communications, or Spectrum, provides internet to the premises and that the Wi-Fi is password protected. Brett Bonini stated that he owned an Apple iPhone, iMac desktop, and an iPad. 16. Brett Bonini further confirmed that the phone number and the Discord account in the Cybertrip report belonged to him. Brett Bonini also confirmed that he was the user on the Discord account with the username. However, Brett Bonini stated he recently deleted his Discord account because he was disgusted with himself. Number 17. During the interview, but before the discussion of the details of the allegations or genders of the victim, Brett Bonini stated he was, quote, not even gay, quote, and that he, quote, fell into temptation that I should not have. I am not a sick individual. I made a mistake, unquote. Brett Bonini then admitted he utilized his iMac desktop to communicate with children on Discord. Brett Bonini chose to speak with children because they were, quote, easier to talk to, quote, and he liked the control aspect of the chat with child victim 1. Number 18, Brett Bonini admitted that he communicated with children via Discord's live chat feature, including video footage. Brett Bonini also stated that he recalled the video chat with child victim 1, and he admitted that he asked child victim 1 to display his genitalias on the screen and that child victim 1 complied. How many times have we heard that children are, quote, easier to talk to? You sick. Conclusion 29. Based on the above, there is probable cause that on or about January 12, 2025, in the Middle District of Florida, Brett Bonini violated 18 U.S.C. Section 2422, subsection B. And they signed it. Thank God for the dad that checked the boys' accounts, or that the boys, knew that that wasn't supposed to be happening and said something. This is his order appointing a public defender. It states the United States of America versus Italo Raphael Brett Bonini, order appointing a federal public defender. Because the above-named defendant has testified under oath or has otherwise satisfied this court that he/she, 1, is unable to employ counsel, and 2, does not wish to waive counsel, and because the interest of justice so require, it is ordered that the federal public defender is appointed to represent the above-named defendant in this case. The defendant may be required to contribute to the cost of this representation depending on circumstances to be determined at a later date. Done and ordered in Orlando, Florida on February 5th, 2025. And they signed it. That's Leslie Hoffman, the judge. This is his waiver of preliminary hearing. It's the United States of America versus Italo Raphael Brett Bonini. It reads, I understand that I've been charged with an offense in a criminal complaint filed in this court, or charged with violating the terms of probation or supervised release in a petition filed in this court. A magistrate judge has informed me of my right to a preliminary hearing under Federal R Criminal Code P 5.1 or to a preliminary hearing under Federal Code Criminal P 3.2.1. I agree to waive my right to a preliminary hearing under Federal R Criminal P 5.1 or Federal R Criminal Code P 3.2.1. It was signed on February 5th, 2025. He signed it, his attorney signed it, and wrote down their information. This is his order of temporary detention. It's the United States of America versus Italo Raphael Brett Bonini, and it's an order of temporary detention. A detention hearing in this case is scheduled as follows. It is in courtroom 5D of the George C. Young United States Courthouse and Federal Building on February 10th, 2025 at 10 a.m. It reads, pending the hearing, the defendant is to be detained in the custody of the United States Marshal or any other authorized officer. The custodian must bring the defendant to the hearing at the time, date, and place as set forth above. It was signed February 5th, 2025 by the Judge Leslie Price. Okay, and lastly, this is the United States of America versus Italo Raphael Brett Bonini, and it is a notice of appearance and substitution of counsel. It says the Office of the Federal Defender has been appointed by the court to represent the defendant Italo Raphael Brett Bonini in the above styled cause. The clerk is requested to remove Isaiah Hawthorne as noticed counsel and enter the appearance of Joshua Luckman, Assistant Federal Defender, as counsel for the defendant. And it was signed by Fitzgerald Hall, Esquire. So they changed his public defender that we saw that signed on the other page to a federal public defender. Here are some clips from the local news stations.
25-year-old Italo Brett Bonini was arrested on federal charges. West 2's Paola Tristan Ruda went to the home he lives in with his parents.
Nobody answered the door when we knocked on this home on Santa Clara Drive in Hunters Creek. According to a crime complaint, Italo Brett Bonini, a music teacher at Hunters Creek Middle School, has lived here with his parents for years. He's accused of enticing 2 boys in Maryland. Neighbors living nearby say they're shocked.
I was a kid in this neighborhood. I was a kid that went to the middle school. So it's honestly scary to hear that there are some sus things going on.
After the arrest, the principal at the middle school sent a message out to parents.
This individual will not be returning to school during the investigation. Please be assured that we take all allegations very seriously, as the safety of our students and staff is always my top priority.
To hear that there is a risk of unsafe people around, I'm glad that person definitely got arrested.
That was from WESH Channel 2 News. Let me know what you think about all this. This is disturbing. How many people, I mean, we've heard about the secretary that was at Madeline's school. Now the chorus teacher, the one that she liked, is a predator. Like, how many? How many? Y'all, I am fed up. I am fed up. Goodness gracious. Thank you all for watching this video to the end. If you don't mind, please give it a like and subscribe. Thank you to the people that got the information for me. Thank you to Hio for pulling the documents and watermarking them for me. She is so sweet. And thank you to Gavin Fish, who I borrowed 2 pictures from. I do appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that emailed me Nisha's true crime video on this. That did make me aware of the situation earlier than I would have found out by myself. I will link those people below. I greatly appreciate y'all. I appreciate the speculating family, and I hope y'all have a good night. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye.